T. Is that anyway?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the topic which has been assigned to me is managing conflict, conflict management, conflict management. So, first we have to think about what conflict is. What do we mean by conflict? What is conflict? So,
Any type of misunderstanding or miscommunication in which two persons are not agreeing at a point.
yes, yes, that's true. That's a general. You can define it in that way, right? Sir? So there are people on this earth. They are with different beliefs, different attitudes, and in every organization, organized sector or unorganized sector in the society, there are different opinions, different views about social issues, about economic issues, about issues on education, about issues on the environment. I mean, you can take any subject. There are always, people have different views. It's not that they are correct. It's not that they are wrong. They may be correct. They may be wrong. But they have different opinions, different views. And what happens that sometimes and there comes out conflict out of it, and with difference of opinion. So it leads to stress also, and it leads to damage, physical damage and emotional damage also. This confrontation leads to conflict. Then it leads to conflict, and it gives us stress, it gives us it damages physically, emotionally, socially also it damages sometimes. So conflict means then my idea is not accepted by you, your viewpoint about uh, conflict management is not accepted by me. So there can be, I mean, unnecessarily sometimes there's confrontation between two people or among a group of people. So it's a normal phenomena that between it's in between two persons, or it is in between a group. So this confrontation, uh, sometimes it is symbolic, that when we confrontation, when we nod our head, no, it's not. Then this is symbolic that I do not agree with you. When I nod my head, or make my face like this, triangular face, that I do not agree with you, this is confrontation. And then symbolic, then with words also. Then when we do not agree, or when we do not agree with the other person views, or other person ideas, then we use words for that. That is also that confrontation that leads to conflict. And then actions and reactions sometimes are seen in this conflict. लड़ाई झगड़े में मार कुटाई भी तो होती है. Actions and reactions are seen. हाँ भाई, हो गया, चलो. So this is what in this is a normal phenomena in the society. So this is what we call as conflict. It is catalytic also. Catalysis, which increases or decreases the rate of reaction, and that is a phenomena in the chemistry. So it is catalytic also, for new ideas, because it emerges with new ideas. Sometimes new ideas come after the confrontation of or debate on some topic. New ideas come. Then it is a catalytic agent, positive catalytic agent. And like when to a child, when a teacher scolds in the class, child is misbehaving in the class, and the teacher is scolding the child, and she says that she takes the child to the head of the institution. So if he improves in the future, then it is a good catalyst. Then it acts like a positive catalyst. So this conflict have it's two types of effects. It can be positive, it can be negative, and for the positive catalyst, we have to see the environment in the class to make it to not to arise any conflict, and if there arises on any issue, it should be resolved, and it should give birth to creative ideas, new views. This is of two type: intrapersonal conflict and personal conflict. Intra Intrapersonal conflict is then when we have conflict of ideas in our own. We do not express it outwardly. We 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 just feel it. I should go there or not. I have homework to be done, and I have to attend a party also. So is party important, or doing homework is important? So what should I do? So this is conflict. This is intrapersonal, conflict among oneself, in oneself, not among in oneself. When one feels about it, one is in a dilemma whether I should do it or not. Then I should go to the class, or should go for the games. Games are also important. So this lead to conflicting situation. So this type of conflict is called as intrapersonal conflict. When we think about the things ourselves, resolve it ourselves, do not resolve it ourselves, and keep it to ourselves. अपने आप तक रखते हैं अपनी लड़ाई को. This is whether I should do it or not. करना है नहीं करना, जाना नहीं जाना. This is intrapersonal conflict. And there there are barriers between needs and goals, positive and negative. When we do not reach the goal, then conflict starts. When a person doesn't reach the goal, this is coming under interpersonal. He doesn't reach When he doesn't reach the goal, then this is he thinks about the barriers. What were the barriers that I could not reach the goal? What the mistake have I done that I could not get 50% marks? This is interpersonal. When we think about the problem, I can say, in decent language, that when we think about the problem ourselves, resolve it ourselves, it is resolved or not. We think about the barriers and the goal we had to achieve. This is called as conflict, and we manage it. This is intrapersonal conflict. And the second is uh, uh, interpersonal conflict. Interpersonal conflict is that it is then sorry, there are reasons for it, for the conflict. There are reasons for the conflict. So when we there's frustration. Frustration can be due to any cause. When we get frustrated, there are so many reasons. There are household reasons. There are related to finance, related to disturbance in the family, and we have so many reasons for the frustration. So uh, this frustration causes to conflict. Then uh, comes our goal conflict. A common source of conflict is goal conflict. That is because each goal has got which has got positive and negative features, or even more than two competing goals. Three types of goal conflicts. अगर हमारा conflict जो है interpersonal conflict goal का है, तो then goals are of that is of it is number one is approach conflict. अच्छा, approach conflict is that this comes under goal conflict. हमारा goal में conflict है, and the first is approach conflict. I got admission in two colleges. In one college, the studies are good, and in one college, practical work is good, that is labs are good, fully equipped with. So there's a conflict in the goal, whether I should join the college which has good staff and there are good studies, or I should go in for the college which has good labs where I can do practicals in a nice way. This is goal conflict. This is very clear. This is goal conflict. Which should I join? Whether where there are good labs, or whether there are good studies. So then, second is approach avoidance conflict. So that is, it gets subject of his choice, but not teachers are not good. He is getting subject of the child is getting subject admission in the subject of his choice, but the teacher is not good. So which he has interest for the subject, but he doesn't have interest in the teacher because teacher is not good. He has to think about it, which is beneficial for him in the future, whether he is benefited if the teacher the goodness of the subject, or the a teacher is not good, quality of the teacher is not good. So he has to think about it. This is approach avoidance conflict. And the third is, this is based on the goals, avoidance conflict. Avoidance, there are two avoidance, that teacher beats the student when and student can't leave the class. Teacher beats the student can't leave the class because parents will be informed. If he leaves the class, parents will be informed, and if he doesn't leave, the teacher will curtail 10 marks out of his course. So this is avoidance. Which should he avoid? Whether let the parents be informed, or let he should sit in the class. So then second is, first was frustration, second was goal, and third is role conflict. So role conflict comes under that, child's parents are forcing the child to study some history subject or geography subject, but the child is good at music, or the parents are forcing the child to play cricket, but the child is good at music, and teacher is laying stress on music. Teacher is laying stress on music. So here's a role conflict. Role conflict. Father's role is that important, or teacher's role is important. Father's role is important for him to take music as a subject, or teacher's role is important to go in for cricket. So this also gives birth to conflict. So this is role conflict, role of teacher and role of father. This is conflict. Then then comes, these were intrapersonal conflicts. Now we come to uh, interpersonal conflict. So interpersonal conflicts are, there are two girls in the class, They are fighting for one position. Both want to become the captain of the school. And there are two boys who are competing for the same girl, and the teacher wants to teach, but the students do not want to be taught. टीचर वांट्स टू टीच, लेकिन बच्चे नहीं पढ़ना चाहते, वो टीचर पढ़ाना चाहता है। तो ये कन्फ्रंटेशन प्रोड्यूस करते हैं। ये वाई आर देयर इंटरपर्सनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स? इंटरपर्सनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स क्यों होते हैं? देयर आर हैबिट्स एंड बिलीफ। हैबिट्स एंड बिलीफ में आता है, देन बिकॉज यू नो teacher uh, teacher, and this is between teacher and student. Teacher says that why aren't you sitting in the class? But students are saying that no, we have to play games because we are having annual sports. So teacher says that, the second teacher says that you have to learn, this is English period now. They say no sir, we are having tomorrow, we are having Hindi exam, so we want to learn Hindi. So this is, and bring change in the students dress up, teach them about the discipline, good discipline, so impressionistic discipline, not the repressionistic discipline. Then, and healthy habits, this is the this comes under habits and beliefs, that interpersonal conflicts happen. Then second is that there are limited resources for a conflict in the class. There's only one book in the library, and because funds are limited, and there's only one position, and there are two three students, those who want to get the book issued. There's only one position for a head girl in the school, but three people think that they have earned it. The emergent feature is conflict. So limited resources. When limited resources या limited number है, किताब एक है, बच्चे बहुत है, then there's conflict. अच्छा. Then comes change. You know, when students are, when sometimes it is said that said, said by the co-teacher, or some student, that sir, you teach this way, that way is better, you must improve your handwriting on the board, you should prepare the lesson well. So this is a change also, when one is asked for the change. And since we are learning this lesson in respect to now with respect to conflict management, and laying emphasis in the school management, in the school itself, then then we say that we take the example from the school or the class. Majority of the examples, many of the examples we'll take from the school or the class or the teacher. Then change is also not accepted. There's conflict when someone says that you change it, you change the room, you change the method of teaching, you the way of dress up, and I mean any sort of change is advised. Then these are the examples where situation occurs that there is a conflict. Then comes poor communication skills. Poor communication skills are also, lack of insufficient knowledge is also a result of conflict. When we don't have proper words to communicate, when we don't have proper words to communicate, proper language which addresses the problem, then this comes under poor communication skills. And then lack of clear goals. The goals are not clear to people, to both the parties. When the goals are not clear, both the parties are not aware of the goals. Neither you are aware of the goal, nor I am aware of the goal. It results in misunderstanding, and the resulting the coming out of conflict. This lack of clear goals means, there are two students sitting in the students room, and they are talking about their goals, and both are having the same position in the class, and they say that uh, I should take biology, but there are just one seat in biology, and the other says no, I should get biology as a subject. So these are some examples that there's a conflict, lack of clear goals. One says that no, I want to become a doctor. That is why I need biology. Second says no, no, I don't want to become a doctor because I have interest in biology, and I get good marks in biology. So he says that you get good marks in biology, and I have a goal that I want to become a teacher. Then who is correct? The such type of arguments or the debate between two, that causes conflict. Then power and status difference. Then there are two teachers, to one head gives more responsibility, to one head gives more responsibility. There's a lack of clear goals. That sorry, power or status difference. So there are two students equally intelligent, equally worth being given the same position, and the teacher gives this position to one. So this is power and status difference, because teacher has got the power to judge the student who is better. But there comes out conflict out of this scene between teacher and the taught. Now we say that then a clash of values and interest, that it also has a conflict. Values and clash of values and interest, it also has a conflict, because you know teacher is not disciplined himself. Teacher is not disciplined. He doesn't come on time. He doesn't have time management, but he gives lecture on time management, and he's always late in the class. This is a clash of values. So what a teacher has to be, he should comply by that. What he says, that if he says that be punctual of time, then he should also come on time. And if he says you dress up nicely, teachers should also behave as a role model before the students. This is clash of values and but what is this is clash of values. Why disturbance?
Manoj
Why
sir, kindly
disturbance?
mute your device.
Why disturbance? Why disturbance in the class? Anyway, you can interact with each other after the class is over, no matter. Anyway, then teacher himself or herself, he or she is not disciplined. So he doesn't come on time, and gives lecture on time management, and he doesn't dress up nicely, and he doesn't deserve to be a role model, but he talks of role model. So this is clashes of values and interest. Why should the student follow him? If he himself is not disciplined, doesn't come on time, doesn't deserve to a role model, why should they listen to the teacher? So this is clash of values and interests. Now here finishes our that interpersonal context, the reasons. Goals का हो गया, बाकी सारे there were 6-7 points which I have told you. Now benefits of conflicts. What are the benefits of the conflicts? So sometimes it the conflict acts as a positive catalytic reagent, positive catalytic source. That when there's a conflict, then we become the aware of problem. When we are aware of problems, then the solution, then reason of root of the problem come out. Then this means that root to take out the root of the problems, then and to become the aware of the problems. If there's a conflict, that is benefit, that is beneficial for the students as well as for the teacher. These are benefits of conflicts. So a problem, and the nature of the problem comes out, the role of the problem comes out, and we know the reason, and the problems, root of the root cause of the problem. uh, when example is that the child says to the teacher, that teacher, that the statement you have given, that was not up to the mark, that is not correct. In a a silent language, he says that, ma'am, sir, that was not correct. And then what happens that at that time, if the teacher says that, yes, have you read the lesson thoroughly, he said yes, then it's better if you come and give a small lecture in the class. So he gets better solution. So this is what, instead or in spite of fighting with the student, or cursing the student, or penalizing the student, he says yes, you come out with your idea, and give this idea to the whole class. The conflict stops. खत्म हो गई लड़ाई. टीचर ने कह दिया बच्चे से, भाई तुम ऐसा कर लो, तो तुम बता दो. So these are benefits of conflict. Sometimes not all teachers accept it. They are some are egoistic, some are super egoistic. At you, I'm a teacher, you are a student. How dare you tell me that I explained wrong thing in the class? But anyway, this is those who accept that conflicts are, they are catalyst. They act like catalyst. Uh, uh, in the environment, in the class, in the society, they accept such things. Then determinants of conflicts. There's whenever there's a conflict, there's a stress होती है. Anxiety is there. um, and breakdown in that is communication, breakdown in communication. And it takes time to take decisions. So determinants of the conflict are, which it damages the positive frame of mind. Conflict, the determinants of the conflict, that they emerges, it damages the positive frame of mind. So क्या होता है कि there's creates a stress. One is stressed, one is under pressure, one cannot take the right decision, one cannot give the right lecture in the class. So this is one of the determinant of the conflict. Then there comes negative thinking, and one loses self confidence. One loses self confidence. Whenever there is a conflict, so there's the environment is like polluted. You can't think of right things, you can't think of going ahead, you can't think of positive attitude, positive thoughts. So that negative thinking comes, and self confidence, one loses self confidence. Lack of concentration is there. So it can be at home, it can be in the class, it can be in the society, it can be in the organized sector, it can be in the unorganized sector, it can be in a peer group, and it can be between two persons. So that was conflict, and determinants of conflict. Now, approaches to conflict resolution. भाई झगड़ा हुआ है, conflict हुआ है, तो उसकी what can be the approaches? कैसे निपटाया जाए? How to get it resolved? And why to get it resolved? how to solve the problem, but how to uproot the problem, how to uproot the cause of the problem. So every person had different approaches, and every approach has strengths and weakness. हर आदमी इसको कन्फ्लिक्ट को घटाने के लिए has its own approach, and one comes forward in front with strengths, strength, ideas of strength, and there are weaknesses also in the ideas. But these are the approaches to conflict resolution. कैसे conflict को resolve किया जाता है? तो there are certain statements which I am reading to resolve conflict. I don't care for others. Let it be. होने दो जो हो रहा है. Then I avoid conflict, because since we are dealing with approaches to conflict resolution, so these are the things how to get the conflict resolved, how to get the problem solved so that the conflict is uprooted. So पहला तो ये है कि I don't care for others, मैं परवाह नहीं करता. Then I avoid such situations. I feel harmony is better than conflict. I don't like all these things that ऐसा होना चाहिए. So these are feelings of the people which are and given in the form of statement कि अगर conflict को resolve करना है तो these are the things. Different people's view. They say that I avoid conflicts. Now, what have I to take out of it? Let it be. And the time will solve the problem. Acha. Then give chance to other party to put in views. That if you sometimes we give chance to others also to resolve the conflict. Then identify options. Then options are to be identified, that how can if there are many number of options by different people, different fields of people. तो किसी प्रॉब्लम के लिए बहुत सारे ओपिनियन आ सकते हैं. देयर पीपल फ्रॉम डिफरेंट फील्ड, कोई सर्विस में है, कोई प्राइवेट जॉब में है, कोई लेबर है, कोई हाउस वाइफ है. तो there can come different ideas. Give chance to others, other party to give the views. Acha. Then yes, I like it, and I identify options. ठीक है, आने दो. I'll identify options. Let the options come. अच्छा. Then between my I seek a I feel compromise. I want to have a compromise between my goal and my relationship. गोल और रिलेशनशिप के बीच में compromise कर लेना. Then I have a mindset to resolve. ठीक है, resolve हो जाना चाहिए. I don't think about it, as I have told already that conflict damages relationships also. So it should not be. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with what is happening without any interference of the others. Let the conflict go. It will come to good conclusion. Acha. Then comes then there's a viewpoint that goal is more important other than relationship. ये कुछ लोगों का व्यू ये है कि conflict को सुधारने के लिए goal is more important than the relationship. Think about goal. Be serious about the goal. कि बात क्या है? अच्छा. Then only relationship. Some people have view that relationship should not be it should not having break in the relationship. It should not be broken. Then I persuade other person to give up a goal. Then if there's a party, two people are there, then I can tell the other people, if one is not listening to me, I can tell the other people, भाई तू मान जा, ये नहीं मान रहा. Conflict will be solved. Then I highly value the goal and the relationship also for me. And some people say that for me, goal is also important, relationship is also important. Why should I forego the idea of the goal or the relationship? Then then some people say, if there's a conflict, that I run away from the place. आंख से दूर तो आंख से दूर हो जाओ, that I will not have any feeling of conflict, and I will not hurt myself by looking into the conflict. So then I leave that place where the conflict is going on, or I do not want to indulge and involve myself in the conflict. I run away from this one. So, some people say that unnecessarily people get hurt in the unnecessarily people get hurt in the conflict. Then I seek such solution that goal of both is, then some people say that goal of both the parties should be secured. So these are the questions which I'm telling you, the statements which I'm telling you, that these are viewpoints of the people to resolve conflict. कि कैसे किया जाता है. कुछ लोग कहते हैं होने दो, रहने दो. some say relationship is important, some say goal is important, some say कुछ भी important नहीं है, time से हो जाएगा. Some say I leave the place. जहाँ झगड़ा हो रहा है वहां से भाग जाओ. Then out of sight out of mind हो जाओ. तब कुछ कुछ नहीं होता. So uh, this is about the statements given by different viewers. जो लोग different views देते हैं, ये उनकी स्टेटमेंट है कि किस तरह से इसको रिजॉल्व किया जा सकता है. अच्छा, then comes there are some people, there are styles, 5 approaches to resolve conflict. conflict को resolve करने की approaches हैं. First is dominance statement. Dominance means when teacher becomes dominant in the class, and it aggravates the struggle, and there doesn't come out any result of it. And some is the aggravates the this aggravates the situation. This is dominance style of approach. Second is avoidance. So if one student is doing something wrong on the blackboard, the teacher says, okay, he calls the other one, you come and see what wrong he has done. No, conflict is finished. There's no conflict. There's no conflict. There's no that he has not to punish the child. He just in the cordial with cordial management in the class, with the correct methodology, the conflict is over. And the third is, if the conflict is in the, and that is accommodation. If the conflict is in the group, uh, you have to see to the interest of the group. Uh, Although it's a temporary solution to see the interest of the group, because the interest can be varied. So, but in the favor of the group, if you want to resolve the conflict, that is to accommodate. This approach is called accommodation. Then is compromising. Then compromising state is not very effective. In this compromising state, when we bring third party as arbitrator, and no distinct winner or loser. जब third party उसमें arbitrate करती है, तो clearly there's no winner, there's no loser. Each party gives up something of value. Both the parties, they कुछ किसी ने कुछ छोड़ा, किसी ने कुछ छोड़ा, किसी ने कुछ माफी मांगी, किसी ने कुछ माफी मांगी. Some begged for some excuse, some begged for some excuse, some left some value, some left some value, and the conflict is solved. This is called as compromise. As the word compromise states, that you have to compromise with the situation. थोड़ा तुम छोड़ो, थोड़ा हम छोड़ें, थोड़ा तुम आगे आओ, थोड़ा हम आगे आए. You come ahead later, I'll go behind later. You go behind later, I'll go behind, I'll come forward. So this is called as compromise, as the word indicates in literature. Achha, then next approach is collaboration. That with cooperation, conflict can be resolved. That is friendly behavior, changing one's attitude, and identifying the situation. This is collaboration, as the word indicates, to collaborate. But one thing is important, that in compromising state, that this is not a permanent solution, because to compromise, one may have to compromise some value under pressure, so which he doesn't want to. But since the approach is compromising, one has to do it. Then collaboration, I've told you that um, when with cooperation, conflict is resolved. Openness, friendly behavior, changing one's attitude towards the problem, towards the conflict. This is psychologically changing one attitude towards the problem, and identifying the root cause, that it can be conflict can be resolved. Then next is effective skills to manage conflicts. There are many a number of skills which one requires to resolve conflicts. That क्या होता है, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. फर्स्ट इज सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. सेल्फ अवेयरनेस में क्या होता है, यू अवॉइड एंगर एंड loaded words, trigger actions, don't point out fingers, and uh, then control your emotions. झगड़ा हटाना है तो ये सारी चीजें करनी पड़ेंगी, if you want to resolve the confront. This is self awareness. अपने आप करो ये. You become aware of all these things, and the conflict will be resolved. Then I statements. The psychologists say that you should not say we. Then if you say I, it means you are taking the whole responsibility on you. I feel it. I think. No, it's a good word to say. I observe it, and I assume it. I'm sure, and I agree to it. This is sweet word. It doesn't give you any harm listening to I, but and this is called as I statements. I statements are always better than you statements. You do this, you do this, you do this, we do this, we do this. I statement is better. This is second skill to manage conflicts. So when we say I, then people take responsibility. Then this conflict is resolved, and naturally conflict is resolved. I statement is better than you statement. Then non-verbal communication skills. Non-verbal communication skills are what? Actions are, as we know, that actions speak louder than words. So really speak louder words than words. And non-verbal, they are actions. So because actions speak better than words. Non-verbal skills are more effective than the verbal. Sometimes when we nod our head, and we stare at somebody, and we give a pleasant look, that is, you can say, that body language. When body language is good, it comes under non-verbal good skill. These are skills which manage the conflicts. Then active listening. It's more important, to be an active listener. It's important than lecturing, than to be a active listener. And the skills to manage conflict is that active listening is more important skill. It is difficult than lecturing. And if lecturing is interesting, then only you can make active listening. Active listening means, to make your learners or listeners active to your speech, to listen to your speech. Then your speech should be good, it should have some meaning. So it's an important skill. And it is listening is difficult than lecturing, but listening becomes better if lecturing is best. So lecturing has a main role to make good listeners. Good lecturing, good listeners. So, and one should avoid ambiguousness. So to the point, focused language, generalized facts, and submissive, yes, in the behavior. These are all skills to resolve conflict. Then different perception. Uh, uh, Different perception means, a glass. Some will say glass is half. Some will say it is half full. Some will say its glass is half. Some will say half empty, or some will say half full. So these perceptions are different. Different perceptions. We should have positive perceptions about a thing like half empty or half full. Teacher gives a dirty look, staring look, or good face to the teachers. These are different perceptions, because teacher is giving different perceptions to the students for their different for the conflicts which have come out in the class. So these are different perceptions. So then brainstorming. Either to resolve a problem, brainstorming is a must. With brainstorming, new ideas come. Brainstorming with new ideas come, and problems are solved. New ideas come. They just jot down the ideas. This is brainstorming. हर आदमी अपना आइडिया लिखेगा बोर्ड पे, and then with the result some new concept will come out, and that will be that conflict will be resolved about any view or any idea or about any concept. It can be any issue. It can be political issue, it can be a family issue. So it can be a school issue, school management issue, school leadership issue. They will give their different opinion on the board, and the best will be sought out. Then third party mediation. Mediators sometimes, to resolve it, mediators are they show mediators should be unbiased. They should be professional. They should not give their own opinion. They should be objective in the nature. And mediators, in fact, they should not dictate and provide. They should provide guidance only. No directives, no direction should be given. No clue will be given that who is right or who is wrong. This is third party mediation to resolve conflict. This is about, in this, the stress is laid upon the mediator, that what is the role of mediator to resolve conflict, and what the mediator should have the skill to resolve conflict, or to manage the conflict. Acha, then comes your evaluating options, predicting consequences. Effective skills to manage conflicts. We have discussed about that. Whatever the skills are important, that we should have. These all these skills can be used on different kind of conflicts. We are talking of conflicts in the class, conflict between the teacher and the student, and conflict between groups. But the conflict can be of any nature. They can be of political nature. They can be economic nature. They can be of the family nature. They can be about the friendship. They can be about any competition. So they can be of any type. So we have to take out good options to come to conclusion. Then last is that we should have a global perspective. Global perspective means that for to resolve a conflict, we should not have a narrow idea. We should not have a narrow idea. We should keep our mind open. We should keep our mind open and looking into the consequences of resolving the conflict. So that is why this point has been given, that we should have global perspective, broader perspective, and broader observation, not the narrow viewpoint of conflict management. So these are the some clues which have been given for the uh, um, conflict management skills, approaches, factors affecting, and all, and the teacher taught relationship, in relation to teacher taught relationship in the class. These conflict management has been given by me in certain points. I hope you have understood. Is this okay? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
There's homework for you.
Yeah.
Homework. You
Yes,
can
ma'am.
jot down. You can jot down. Why is it important? Why is it important for a teacher to have broad knowledge of personality, broad knowledge of personality with reference to the TA, transactional analysis, and classroom situation. And classroom situation.
Kindly repeat, ma'am.
Why is it important for a teacher to have good knowledge of personality with reference to the transactional analysis in relation to classroom situation? In relation to classroom situation. Sure. And the second one is managing conflict is a skill. Managing conflict is a skill. How will you apply these skills? How will you apply the skills in a classroom in the position of a teacher? In the position of a teacher. Uh, in the position of a teacher. So this is your homework, and sir has put forward the Google form. You have to write the answer not less than one page and not less than you can say 3 pages. Not less than one page and not more than 3 pages. So it's better दोनों के बीच में आ जाओ. You can write.
Can you repeat the first question once more? Can you repeat the first question once?
I haven't written you. We can ask who has written it.
Yes, I'll read it out for
Why
you.
it is
Why it is
important
important for a teacher to have broad knowledge of personality with reference to transactional analysis in reflection to classroom situation.
It's reflection or relation?
Ma'am, please go.
Transactional analysis in relation to classroom situation.
Ma'am, can you just go slow?
सुनिए
Why is it
मैम,
for a
बच्चे में
teacher?
कुछ नहीं है, हम वेंटिलेटर हटा रहे हैं, बच्चे की हार्ट बीट एकदम बंद हो जाएगी, बच्चे में है ही नहीं कुछ.
Why
आप
is
कुछ
it
हटा
important for a
दो.
teacher?
मैंने कहा ऐसा सर
Why it is important
For a teacher.
for a teacher to have broad knowledge of personality with reference to transactional analysis in relation to classroom situation.
Broad knowledge of personality with
With reference to
In relation to classroom situation.
One of the participant has mentioned it in the chat box, and I'll be writing this in the main Google main WhatsApp group. So learners, you can copy it from there. Means you can read it from the WhatsApp group also.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Isani, for mentioning
okay,
these
thank you, sir.
questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Most welcome, sir. You're most welcome.
Thank you for being listener, good listener. Thank you for being good listener. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.
कौन है चिड़िया